Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Loving Life Freely here on YouTube. I am a full-time reseller on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari. I sell kids' clothes on Whatnot. And this is what I do. I am a semi-retired mom of 6. I moved out of Washington, came out here to South Dakota, and we have 5 grandkids. My husband and I have been married 32 years, and I love what I'm doing. This is my job, so to speak. I do work a lot of hours though, so don't kid yourself. When you are a full-time reseller, especially if you're doing YouTube, multiple platforms, Whatnot auctions, and all that stuff. But you know what? Outside of keeping up my house and my chores and church and my husband, this is what I enjoy doing. And yeah. Today is the Reseller Weekly Chat. I cannot believe it's going to be Wednesday again already tomorrow. And I'm super excited about some topics that I have picked out for us all to talk about. So stay tuned for some new things, you guys. I'm so excited. Okay, guys. So as far as how my last week went, you all saw me last week. I was still kind of recovering from this nasty head congestion cold thing that was going on. I think I had a little bit of a sinus infection going on. I am doing so much better and being more productive. Still working on getting a little bit more of my energy level up, but I've been doing my workouts again, so I'm excited about that. And I'm just doing much better. And we still had a great sales. Our ending of the month last month, we were definitely up to where we had been before the end of the year hit. You know, during the first of the year, the first couple months, sales do slow down. And we are finally back up to where I used to be. And now I'm working on getting that even higher. So I am super excited about that. Sales have picked up. And how are y'all sales doing? I would love to know. We are now in April, you guys. I cannot believe it's April already. Did we not just hit the first of the year? It is April already. I cannot believe how fast it is going. Before we know it's going to be June. Summer season, and I know everybody is looking forward to summer this year because it has been a crazy winter. And now that we are in spring, we're still waiting we are getting nicer weather, but we're still kind of like today. It's been kind of snowing a little bit out with some dusting, chilly, windy. And so spring is broke, but has broken here. We are getting the nicer temps. But then you have days like today where it just kind of slides back into the high 20s, low 30s, and it's chilly. So we are excited. I think in about 10 days, we're supposed to be hitting 60s and 70s. Super excited about that. I told Dan, and he's like, yay, because we are in spring. But you know, when you live in places like South Dakota, Montana, up here in the Midwest, that is what is to be expected these times of the year. So I guess we can't really complain, but we are all around here. Everybody, all our friends at church, our neighbors, everybody. We are definitely ready for the spring weather, to be able to step outside wearing a nice t-shirt and just feeling warmth, you know, right? And if you guys live in territories where it hasn't warm, y'all know what I'm talking about. Business, like I said, has been good. I am continuing to work on getting more sales going on a regular basis and higher price brackets being sold instead of just the making $10 or $15 on a piece. I'm looking at trying to make even $15, $20 or more on a piece. So we are working on that. I'd love to know how y'all are doing with your sales, how your price brackets are going. Are things going good there? So let's get to some topics. Kind of one that's a little bit different is this new app that I've been hearing about. Some resellers on YouTube are using this app for like office supplies and different things like that. I've also heard about people buying things through this app. Have you heard of Temu? Some people have told me that they think that Temu is similar to Shein, so they want nothing to do with it. And other people love the idea. They've been buying supplies for their business. Some people are buying a few things through Temu, like dresses or clothing pieces or whatnot. What is your thoughts on Temu? I did place an order for some items for my office, and I have a thought of buying a few more things because even with Temu, there are items so far that I can see the product is actually pretty decent and the prices are cheaper. So I have a few more office supplies that I'm thinking about getting. Just basic stuff like, like a tape dispenser, things like that, that you kind of need for your office, but you don't really want to spend more money on Amazon than you need to. And on Temu, it is free shipping. So what do you think? Have you guys tried Temu for office supplies or personal care? Not like, personal care, but, like personal items, like clothing items or things like that. Shoes, maybe things like that. Have you guys tried Temu? What are your thoughts on Temu? Do you think it's a good company? I would love to hear in the comments down below what you all think of Temu, because it is definitely spreading as far as the word of Temu, whether or not people like it or not. So I'm curious. Tell me in the comments below what you think. Do you buy through them? Have you thought about it? Are you like, no way, I'm not interested in that company? Or yeah, I think I might try that because they do have good items for cheaper prices than Amazon. Okay, another question, or it's not a question, but something that I wanted to bring to our attention. I should have mentioned this last week, but because I was still kind of recovering, I wasn't like thoroughly thinking things through. But starting April 17th, if you sell on Mercari like I do and other people do, starting April 17th, 2023, Mercari is changing payment processing fee of 2.9% of the sale price plus shipping. They're doing what eBay is already doing. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I do not like the fact that eBay charges our processing fee not just on what the sold price is, but also on shipping. And they do this, I guess, because I actually watched a video on this. I guess some sellers were taking advantage of eBay's fees, and they were doing some things to get around stuff, and they were like selling things weirdly. So eBay decided to start charging the shipping fee not just on the price that it sells at, but they added the shipping fee in it. So when you sell something, you're charged based on the shipping on the selling price and the shipping fee. So whether you charge shipping or not on eBay, you are being charged the selling fee on shipping, no matter what you do with shipping. They're doing this with Mercari now too. So it's going to be a 2.9% processing fee on the sales price plus shipping price, and the 50-cent fee for each completed transaction. Again, effective April 17th. I'll try to remember to link this down below unless you guys don't need that. Honestly, it's just a thing. If you look up shipping fee, it just pulls up right there on the internet, so I probably won't link this. And then this shipping price refers to both buyer and seller paid shipping using a Mercari label, Mercari local delivery. Now, I do charge shipping on Mercari. I do not ship myself because I don't offer free shipping. I actually tried that when I first started selling on Mercari. And it's very similar to when you do it on eBay. People don't realize you actually have to pay for shipping when you don't charge shipping on eBay. And they lowball you on items, and you have to go in and figure out how much the shipping was on the item. I tried that, and I just wasn't interested in the fuss and the muss of it. And I have not had issues. I have sold a lot of things on Mercari the last year or so that I've been on there, and I have not had any issues with people wanting to pay shipping. So it's staying right where it is. And yes, I did go back to doing Mercari. Since we're kind of on Mercari, I will share with you, since I forgot to share with you last week, why I did go back to doing things on Mercari. So anyway, that is what's going on with the shipping, the processing fee. So as far as me doing Mercari, what I did is I took all of my hard goods. I'm still in the process of taking some of them off. I'm not selling hard goods on Mercari anymore. Because when you sell on Mercari, anything that's less than a pound, you can use USPS. But anything over a pound, if you don't use UPS, which I don't have a local UPS, however, I have a FedEx drop-off at my USPS, anything over a pound has to either go FedEx or UPS unless you want to pay a huge shipping fee on USPS. So I don't want to buy hard goods. I don't want to sell hard goods. If you're doing FedEx on over a pound, you almost always have to do your own box. accommodate your own box, pay for your own boxes. So I don't want to be doing that on items. Now with clothing items, that is not a problem because I could just use poly mailers, and it's like 10 or 15 cents for me to do a poly mailer on a clothing item that is over a pound on FedEx. So I'm still selling clothes on Mercari, but I'm not doing hard goods on Mercari anymore. So that's kind of the change that I've made, because I do sell a lot of items on Mercari. I stopped selling on there a little bit ago, but I decided with clothing, because I can use a poly mailer and I don't have to worry about the boxes, I can still sell FedEx, have a poly mailer, and it's easy shipping for me. I don't like having to copy and paste to do the shipping label, but I do sell a lot on Mercari, and I don't want to lose out on those sales there. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the label the way I need to. And maybe we should make note to Mercari. If enough of us make notes to Mercari, please make it so that you don't have to do a cut and paste shipping label on anything over a pound. Maybe they'll finally get around to Mercari doing shipping the way they should for their labels, where you can just pull it up and print it and not have to go through the copy and pasting on things that are over a pound. Things that are under a pound, I can literally just go down to USPS, pull up the QR code, and they ship it out for me. So under a pound, it's not a problem for me. So anyway, that's what's been going on with Mercari for me. So I am still selling clothes there, and that works out great. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to talk about was promoted listings on eBay. I've heard a lot of different people talk about how it's so important to do promoted listings on eBay in order to sell items on eBay. I have not done promoted listings. When I started out with it, I heard so many people say how you should do promoted listings because your items won't sell if they don't. I don't do promoted listings, and I have not found an issue. I think, honestly, your price bracket of where you're selling your items at is more important than promoting your listings. Because if you have your item at a good price bracket where it's like average or lower than what other people have it listed at, I think you won't have a problem selling your item if it's a good price range versus having to worry about more fees on promoted listings. So I do not do promoted listings. But tell me in the comments below, do you do promoted listings? Do you find it helpful for your particular store? Or do you not worry about it and just make sure that your active listings are in a good price range for sold comps? Tell me in the comments below what you think about promoted listings. Okay. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was scheduled drafts on Poshmark. eBay now does not charge for scheduled drafts on eBay. They used to charge 10 cents a piece per listing that you scheduled, but they have recently taken that away. So you can now schedule drafts to be listed and go live on eBay without a fee. My understanding was that you could also do this on Poshmark. However, I've gone into Poshmark and I have not seen a way that you can do that. If you know how to actually do scheduled listings on Poshmark to go live at different times, so like if you don't want to work on Saturday or Sunday and you want listings to go live on Poshmark like you can do on eBay, have you figured out a way to do that? Because I went into the listings on Poshmark, I went in through List Perfectly and through just Poshmark itself. I don't see a way where you can schedule listings. So the person that I know that does this, I'm actually going to reach out to her again and see how she does that, see if she would be willing to share, maybe do a video on her YouTube on how she does that, because I am not seeing how that is done. Again, if you know how to do it, please put it down in the comments below how to do that. I would love to learn from you and know how you can do scheduled listings on Poshmark. Okay, next thing, another big topic of conversation sometimes in the reseller community is using stock photos. Now, I've thought about asking about this, and I've been watching some videos lately, and some people have been talking about how they really don't think you should be using them at all, and other people use them on all the platforms. Some people say if you use them on eBay, you can actually have your items delisted from eBay. I have actually had This was a long time ago. It was months and months ago. I had stock photos for earrings on Mercari, and Mercari actually reached out to me and said, we have deleted these listings because they're stock photos. Now, I do have a lot of other items that have stock photos before I got that notification on those particular listings, and those other items weren't taken down. And since I've been doing stock photos again on Mercari, I have not had that issue again. What do you guys think about stock photos? I'm conflicted. Because stock photos are from other companies. They have rights to those photos. For me, sometimes the reason why I like to use stock photos, like on a dress that's kind of awkward and hard to put like on a mannequin, or if you just have it on a backdrop, try to do a listing on an item that is hard to photo. People sometimes do stock photos for listings like that. I understand the copyright, I do, and I respect that. So I really don't like using stock photos unless I absolutely have to. But some people use them in all their listings. Tell me in the comments below if you use stock photos, and what do you think about the rights on the company's site for stock photos and using them? Or should we not be using them? It is a controversial topic in the reseller community, and I would love to know your thoughts on it. Okay, speaking of taking photos of dresses, when you take photos of dresses, whether they're nice evening gowns or just regular photos, do you just put it up on a hanger or do you use a mannequin? And if you use a mannequin, do you use a mannequin that hangs or a mannequin that's on a stand and just stands up and it just allows the dress to drape? I have a hanging mannequin, but I have since recently purchased a standing mannequin because I do like using mannequin for my dresses, especially gowns, because I just think it looks better. And I don't like hanging my mannequin and having to flip it around. I like to just have a standing mannequin where it's a full mannequin body, not the half mannequin, the thing that hangs. And also I think that I'm getting one that's kind of a cream colored, has just a regular chest to it, doesn't have like the nipple things. I don't like that. So it's just kind of weird when you're doing photos and it has like the particular details of the chest. I don't like that, okay? I like to just have the flat cloth lay of the chest and then a full mannequin, not a half mannequin. So you can get the full effect and you can kind of clip it in the back if you want to. So I have one coming in the mail and I have some dresses from a box that I'm waiting to do because I do want to be able to use my new mannequin. And sometimes when you have certain dresses, certain tops that are wrap or faux wrap, you want to be able to put it on a mannequin so you can show how it's properly wrapped, right? Not just have it on a hanger and it's just kind of hanging and the straps are loose, you know, and all that. Do you guys use mannequins? Do you have a stand-up mannequin or a hanging mannequin, or do you just use hangers for dresses and tops and things like that? I would love to know in the comments below how you guys do that. Okay, next. This is a huge one. And the reason why I'm asking about this is because I think this is an important topic to discuss because it can definitely come up if you sell jeans. We all know that jeans stretch when they wear. They also shrink from dryer. So if you have items that are pre-owned jeans and the tag size is different than the measurements, how do you note that in your listings? Because we all definitely need to be doing measurements on jeans. And if the tag size is different than the measurements because it's either shrunk or it's stretched out, do you note the tag size in the pictures, do the measurements, and then note in the description, tag says this, but measurements because of stretch are these? Do you guys do that? Or do you just do measurements? And if somebody asks, and I'm mentioning this because I had a person ask me when they received some jeans the other day, she noted tag size is different than measurements. What size is this? And I let her know all sizing is based on measurements. So how do we do this? Do you guys still put the tag size in the pictures and then note that measurements are based on the actual measurements done because the item is stretched? Or what if the item is shrunk, right? So how do you guys do that? And then do you note it in the description, that measurements might be different than the actual tag size. This is kind of a big thing, because if the tag size says a certain size and you don't do measurements in your description or your pictures, and the item is different because it is stretched, they're receiving an item that isn't actually the same size as the tag size. And then you have a possibility of a return because the item didn't fit properly. So I did answer this gal back, and I did let her know measurements are based on measurements in pics. She didn't have an issue. Now, I don't even know if, I don't remember if she actually finalized the sale. This was on Poshmark. I have to go back and see. She never answered me back, so I'm presuming that she just go ahead and accepted the jeans, and then since she didn't actually, you know how they have to finalize the sale and agreed to, yes, this item fit, Poshmark probably just finalized that sale for me. I'll actually have to go back and double check that, because this was several days ago by now. So that is just a curiosity question that I had. And again, even like on t-shirts, things do shrink sometimes. Kids' clothes, sometimes things shrink. Kids' clothes, sometimes things shrink. Athletic wear. If you don't air dry athletic wear, it can shrink. When I wash my athletic wear, I never put it in the dryer. Sports bras and leggings, even my socks go on the dry rack because my socks shrink, because it's all cotton. And athletic wear, because of the type of fabric that it is, even if it's polyester, after a while it just does shrink. And especially leggings, after a while you kind of notice the fit isn't quite what it used to be, right? Okay. Another thing that I want to talk about, and this is something that I actually stole from another eBayer, and I can't remember where I heard it originally. I think it was an eBayer that I follow. She talked about how, you know, on eBay, if you have to cancel an item due to an item selling on a different platform, a lot of people, if something sells on Poshmark and eBay at the same time, they'd rather cancel the Poshmark listing instead of the eBay listing, because people feel that if you cancel an eBay listing and it's due to you not having the item because it's sold elsewhere, it's a ding on your eBay account. I have canceled items on eBay. I have not noticed an issue of a negative effect on my account. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I haven't seen it happen on my account yet. However, I have found a workaround with that, because I've seen a couple people on eBay talk about how if you have an item that sells on another platform, and you need to cancel the item on eBay, or say it's sold on another platform, maybe you forgot to delist it on eBay, right? That's happened. It happens to all of us. Let's be honest. Sometimes we forget to go through and follow through, or maybe an eBay listing has expired and we forgot to go double check to see if that listing was expired. Maybe it's an unsold and it goes and sells later again, and you can't find the item because it already sold elsewhere previously. That's happened to me. I've been very mindful of that now, but sometimes things still do slip through the cracks, unfortunately, right? As resellers, it happens. So what I have found a couple of people on YouTube talk about doing is reaching out to the buyer and explaining to them, my apologies, but this item has sold elsewhere. Would you like me to replace this with another item similar to this item? Or would you like me to cancel this order altogether? And if they answer back, hey, yeah, if you have another item that is similar to this, I would like to switch it out. Or, no, please cancel the order. If they say, no, please cancel the order in the message, you can go in now, instead of saying the item no longer available, that customer has now requested you to cancel the order. So you can now go in and cancel the order via customer request, because they've actually asked you to cancel the order in the message. I thought this was a great way to get around that, especially if it sells on another platform, or maybe you didn't delist it from eBay. Instead of it dinging your account, there's a way for you to go in, ask them if they would like a replacement for that item, and you could ship a different item out to them if you have something similar to sell. Some people on eBay, I have watched videos where, yeah, the customer has seen something else that they like. You ship that item out instead. for the same price, or the customer says, no, please just cancel the order, that's fine. Then you have approval from them to go ahead and go in and cancel the order, and you don't have to say item no longer available. So that is my workaround with that. Then you don't have to fear if you send out an offer and it sells on another platform, because sometimes I have had that fear. If I have an offer on something that I send out on eBay, and there's also people who've liked it on Poshmark, which definitely happens on a very regular basis, I have had fears about sending out that offer. But now I know a workaround. And you know what? This is just better communication with the buyer anyway. Instead of just canceling the order, reaching out to them, letting them know. It's nice courtesy and customer service, letting them know this item has sold elsewhere. Would you like a replacement because you liked something like this? Or would you like me to just cancel? I just think it's just good communication with the buyer anyway. And I do that if something sells on Poshmark and it's sold elsewhere. I reach out to the buyer and I let them know, I'm so sorry, this item is sold elsewhere. I wanted to let you know I will be canceling this order. A refund will be following directly. And they're like, hey, no problem. I have never had somebody say, oh my gosh. Sometimes people will say, really? I have had that happen a couple times, and I let them know, again, I'm so sorry. This sold elsewhere. I do need to cancel this order. And sometimes people are kind of irritated by it, but there's nothing you can do if something sells around the same time on 2 different platforms. And I have heard other people on YouTube as resellers talk about how something sells like within minutes of each other on platforms. It does happen. So the best thing you can do even on Poshmark is just reach out, let them know, I'm so sorry, this item is sold elsewhere. I will be canceling and refunding you immediately. No worries. And I just wanted to let you know, most people are very gracious about it. And when they are gracious, I do answer them back and I say, thank you so much for your grace on this. I really appreciate it. Please have a really great day. And thank you. And people usually answer back saying, well, thank you. You have a great day too. And it's just a great congenial conversation on Poshmark. And sometimes that person likes your customer service and you letting them know. And another thing too on Poshmark, if for some reason, like around here, if we've had snowstorms and I can't ship the very next day because my post office is closed or it's unsafe to drive, whether it's eBay, Poshmark, or Mercari, I always reach out to the customer if I can't get the item out, shipped the next day. I let them know my apologies. We've had a snowstorm out there. It's not safe. Our post office is closed. I will ship this as soon as possible. Oh, no problem. We understand. Always reach out to your customer if something's come up. Maybe you're sick and you're in bed and you can't ship next day. I let some people know sometimes too, hey, I'm so sorry, I'm sick, I can't ship out today. I'll get this shipped out as soon as possible, let you know when it ships. Hey, no problem, please feel better. Reach out to your customers if you can't ship next day and you have a ship next day on your items. I always let them know if for some reason something's come up and I can't ship next day. I let them know I will get this shipped out to you as soon as possible. I will let you know when it ships. And they're like, oh, no problem. Thank you so much for your update. I really appreciate that. Always, always communicate with your customers, guys. It's just good customer service, right? So that kind of goes in line with talking about canceling orders. I thought since we were on the topic, I'd share with you what I do there. Okay, guys. Usually our weekly seller chats go about 30 minutes. Let's talk about goals, you guys. And I want to talk about liquidation really quick. There's been a couple other people who have bought through Quicklotz. And we have been noticing, some people have mentioned in other people's chats, on YouTube, when another gal that I follow had did a 30-day update on a Quicklotz box that she did a few months ago. And some people that I connect with on here also watched that video. And we've been talking about how the fashion reseller box that we've been buying on Quicklotz, they've changed the box. Somebody reached out to me on my video and let me know this. Thank you so much for doing that. I had not seen that until you guys noted it. And I did go on there and find out that I think the price is still $300, but they've changed it to 30 pieces in the box instead of 50. And one of the gals mentioned that she reached out to Quicklotz asking why. And they said that they're putting nicer items in the box. Now, I did want to note to you guys, all the Quicklotz boxes that I've ordered through Quicklotz, the 50-piece box, every one of my boxes, the first box I got like 53 items. And the last two boxes I've gotten 56 items in those boxes. So my hope is on the 30-piece box that maybe we might get a few more pieces in the 30-piece box. But let's talk about this for a minute, because I have been wondering, should I order the 300 box with just the 30 pieces in it and possibly have a higher COG? And this is kind of my thoughts on it. I am going to order another box because I am kind of curious to see what's going to be in this box now. And I know a couple of you commented that you're going to go ahead and order it and see what happens. Usually they give you more than what they say the quantity is going to be. So I'm hoping that maybe I'll get like maybe 30, 35, 36 pieces in a 30-piece box. Like in my 50-piece boxes, I've gotten between 53 and 56 pieces in those boxes, which does bring the COG down more. But I'm thinking if these higher end pieces that we're getting, now granted, not all the pieces are going to be nicer pieces. We know that. We talked about that in one of the unboxings that I was doing. You have to expect at least a 15% maybe flaw rate. Maybe it's not as nice of a brand rate. Maybe you can't list this rate. Maybe you can list it and it has a flaw and it's just a little bit of a reduced price when you sell it. We all know that you have at least a 15%. Maybe it's got a flaw or I can't list it rate in any box, no matter where you buy from, okay? Helps you source, liquidation, any places like that. You know that there's a 15% rate where maybe you can't list it or you can list it and you just have to reduce the price because this is going on with the item, okay? But when I'm looking at prices at buy, sell, trade, or thrift stores, these higher end pieces, you're not even going to be able to get them for $10. I'm going to be really honest with you. When I look at prices, even for Miss Me jeans at my Goodwill store, their typical pricing for Miss Me jeans is $15. Now, my average price for regular jeans at my thrift store, just basic, like Levi's, what are some other brands? Miss Me again is $15. I don't know why they price Miss Me at $15, because Miss Me is a nice brand, but it doesn't resell for that much. You're maybe going to get about $25 from Miss Me, to be honest. Miss Me, 25, maybe 30. They just don't sell for that much. But you can find Paige jeans, you can find Mother jeans, you can find, if you find those, they're typically, in a lot of resellers that I watch on YouTube, in their stores, they're averaging anywhere from $8 for a pair of jeans on up to $15 for a pair of jeans. So we're looking at this Quicklotz box, even if our average sale price, depending on how many pieces we actually get in the 30-piece box, is between $8 to $10 a COG for these nicer items. I don't know if our local stores, I know if you go to buy, sell, trade, it's not going to be that cheap, you guys. So I'm thinking, let's go ahead and maybe test out these newer boxes and see what happens. I know for me, I don't find those items. The items that you've been seeing in that Quicklotz box that I've been getting, I don't find those items in my thrift store. And even if I did, I probably wouldn't find them that cheap. They're probably going to bump up the prices. And I know for sure, because I've checked out prices even for Lululemon. Some of those nicer pieces that we've been seeing, they bump those prices up in buy, sell, trade. They're looking to make a profit in buy, sell, trade, right? I don't think, I watched a video again from a gentleman who was talking about buy, sell, trade and how he uses buy, sell, trade in his business. Even he was saying that he's been paying up probably at least $15 for some of these pieces and more. So I don't really think $8 to $10 is really that high. It's just, I know that a lot of us are trying to keep our COG low. I like to try and keep my COG for basic brands around $5. But when you're talking about higher end pieces that might sell for $50 or more, I'm okay with maybe paying $8 or $10 on something like that and doubling, maybe tripling my money on those pieces. Like I told you that my second box that I got through Quicklotz, I will be doing a 90-day update in a couple months. It's only been a few weeks since I put those items up, and I've already done very well in that box. A lot of those pieces have sold for a really good price. So I am going to test out Quicklotz. Again, everybody's business model might be different, so that cog might be too high for you. But I do know if I'm looking at thrift stores, for a lot of people who are looking at brands like the nice evening dresses, Paige jeans, Peter Millar, you do not see, oh, what's that one brand that we've been looking at? Oh gosh, what is that brand? That nice brand that I just started buying recently. There's a lot of these nice brands that you're just not going to see. Eileen Fisher's not too bad as far as comps in thrift stores. But if you're going to go to a buy-sell trade, you might pay up for Eileen Fisher. I'm looking at my... Oh, Frame is another one. Frame you're going to pay up for. I'm looking at my listings here. Trying to figure out some... There was... Ted Baker is the brand I was thinking about. Ted Baker you will definitely pay up for. And even in these boxes, if you were to find Ted Baker in the thrift store, which people typically find Ted Baker, but even if you buy Ted Baker and Boutique by the Box, you all saw that unboxing that I did by Boutique by the Box, it was $20 for each piece. So even if I get Ted Baker, I'd rather pay $10 in my Quicklotz for Ted Baker than $20. So kind of see what I'm saying? You have to kind of figure out what you might have to pay in your buy-sell trade or your thrift stores for these higher end pieces. I still think Quicklotz might be cheaper. So just a food for thought on those. I am going to order another box. I have a box here waiting for me to unbox. So that's going to be a video here very soon. Because I do like the items that I'm getting in those boxes. And I do think they might still be worth it, even if they're $8 or $10 for those really nice brands. Like you even saw, I got, oh, what was that brand? Frame. And there was just like, Spanx was in there. When I don't find Spanx in my thrift stores. And if you buy Spanx, depending on where you're going to get it, it really kind of depends on what the cog's going to be. Tell me what your buy-sell trade store prices are on some of these nicer pieces. Do you have to pay up for them? And can you find them in the thrift store? Do you guys find things like that? Now, see, in these liquidation boxes through Quicklotz, a lot of it is Nordstrom. So you're not going to see Patagonia, which I don't find in my thrift stores. If I find Patagonia, it's usually through... I haven't seen Patagonia in a while. If I was finding Patagonia, it was usually through thread-up boxes. And I haven't seen Patagonia for a while. I got them sometimes in my men's boxes. Lululemon. I'm finding Patagonia Lululemon through Whatnot auctions, but I'm not finding them in any of my local stores, and they're not in Quicklotz because it's mainly focused on Nordstrom pieces. Things like that. Nordstrom is Macy's. So I just kind of want to talk about that a little bit. Now, again, if the cog just doesn't work for your business model, I completely understand and respect that. But I just kind of want to talk about the difference between buy-sell trade prices and what you might get for those pieces there. And what they're going for if you can find them in your thrift stores. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about goals real quick because we're already at 40 minutes. I don't want this to be too long for y'all. My goal this week is to get between 10 to 15 items listed a day. Now that my husband's doing my photos for me, I take them, but he adjusts them, puts them in drafts, and has them ready to go. So all I have to do is my description, my information, fill everything out, and it's ready to go. So I'm really working on getting a minimum of 10 to 15 items listed on a daily basis, and I need more inventory. So I got to order more inventory. I did another auction yesterday for kids' clothes, and more pieces are selling, guys. I'm super excited. Please join with me on Whatnot. There's always a link below in my videos to check out Whatnot. If you need kids' clothes, I have great starting prices, great pieces, and I'm looking for other ways also to source more kids' clothes that are new at tags. So if you want to come check that out and see what we're doing there, even if you're just hanging out, I love having y'all there. Also, I am going to have some 90-day updates on some things coming up soon. I know I've been talking about it, and I apologize since I've been sick, trying to catch up from things since being sick between my house and business and all that. I have one box I know for sure I'm going to be doing an update on. I'm going to try and put that up for you guys next week now that I'm back to doing regular scheduled YouTube things. And I have more unboxings coming up, more inventory coming in. Also, a Reseller Weekly Chats, guys. I love your feedback and your input. I love when you share with me your thoughts on things. I love when you share with me how you're doing your own inventory, how you're doing your photos. For those of you who shared, if you have hesitated sharing, please do so. I love hearing from you guys. I love seeing how your systems work for you, because sometimes I'm tweaking because I see what's working better for you and I'm thinking, maybe that might work better for me. So thank you so much for sharing what you guys do. I love learning from you guys. I love learning the brands from you guys. You guys have really helped me out with brands. Thank you so much for y'all helping out with that sort of thing. Please do give me a follow, guys. My YouTube is growing and I'm super excited to get up to 500 followers and then get up to 1,000 followers. So if you have not yet subscribed and you like the content we're putting out, please do subscribe. Hit the bell notification. If this video was a blessing to you and you love the interaction, what we're talking about in Reseller Chat, please do give it a like. And guys, we'll see you in the next video. I'm super excited about it.